Hey, what's up, guys? If you guys can hear me, toss yes in the chat, please. Can you guys hear me okay? Awesome. I'm going to give it a couple minutes here and let people join. Where are you guys joining from? What's up, Jeff, Jim, Car Warriors? Jeremy, is that Shade Tree, Jeremy? Okay. Not Shade Tree, Jeremy. What's up, Sonny? Mike, Kevin? All right, guys, as always, feel free to toss questions, comments, anything in the chat. This is the Answer Everything hour. What happened to the GTO? I'm going to give you guys a huge update on the GTO. It's going to make a few of you guys upset. It's going to make about the 5 people that comment every single video that I post on the Cuda. What happened to the GTO? Nope, didn't make it a gasser. The new owner might, though. All righty, you guys. So where is the noise? Hopefully you guys can hear me. All right. So you guys are on here. Appreciate you all joining me tonight. And tonight's a big one because I am going to pick a color, and I'm going to pick it based on everybody's votes right here, right now in the live. Okay. So been asking for a long time now for different things on, what do you guys think of the best colors? And I'll be honest, there's not a color that looks bad on the Cuda. There just really, really isn't, in my opinion, aside from the original green. So that is not a color that we're going to put on the car. I'll just tell you that right now. So a lot of these, more traditional colors here, but I've narrowed it down to 5, kind of the 5 that I think would look awesome on the car. I think will get you guys very excited also. But so what I want you guys to do, as I say the colors, drop your guys' vote in the comments. We'll add them up at the end. And then whichever one has the most, and that's the one we're going to paint it, okay? So no surprises on a few of these. Number 1, Sassy Grass. Number 2, Plum Crazy. Number 3, the original color that I was going to paint the car is Winchester Gray. I think it's a badass color on the car. Vitamin C. And then the last one, which is kind of a weird one, but I think it would look sweet, is Pearl White on the Cuda. So throw your votes in there. I already see Plum Crazy. Yeah, especially with the shaker. Damn, that thing looks awesome, doesn't it? I'm pretty excited about it. I do have an issue with it, which I need your guys' help on. So, okay, so again, Sassy Grass, Plum Crazy Purple, Winchester Gray, Vitamin C, or Pearl White. Please throw them in the comments, guys. And then again, at the end, or if somebody wants to keep track for me, throw them in there. Okay. Candy O'Connor, I know you. All righty. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a whole bunch of questions here that you guys have asked. A couple that you haven't, but I still want to make mention of. So Number one, yesterday we hit 16,000 followers. So really, really appreciate that. Every time we hit 1,000, I'm going to start doing cool giveaways. I really want this channel to grow, and I want to kind of pass on some of the things from these builds to you guys. So what I am asking you guys to do is, in order to be entered into the follower giveaway, which is going to be a part of one of the builds. I think you guys will love it. It'll be awesome. It'll be a cool wall hanger for you guys. I pay for shipping. I pay for all that. I'm going to pick a lucky winner that buys merch in some sort of form or fashion. So obviously, the money for these builds, guys, doesn't just come out of thin air. Okay. But every dollar that I get from merch or from YouTube goes straight back into these cars. So that said, if you guys buy a piece of merch, you're automatically entered into the giveaway. And yeah, it's going to be any purchases throughout the month of August, and we'll go ahead and pick somebody at the end. So, all right. That said, okay, car show wrap up. So first off, it was such a crazy couple weeks leading up to the car show in Evanston. Yeah, long story short, the kids are not here for a couple weeks, and so I had some time to really focus in on the car. And it was every night from 5 o'clock till 11, 12 o'clock every single night, and going into work the next day tired. And yeah, but I beat my body up bad for several weeks leading up to it. It was almost like a SEMA crunch, but Evanston was kind of my SEMA. Okay, where can you get the merch? So underneath of this video or any of the other videos, you guys can buy it. And actually, I'm wearing the merch, and that's why I'm kind of trying to push it, guys. So I did update the design. It's got the Cuda on the front now. It's got the mountains on there. All you guys make comments about the background here, and I love the new merch. It's awesome. So go check it out. Got something for you, for your honey, for your dog. We got everything on there, okay? Even stickers. If you guys just want to go on there and buy stickers, you're tossed into the drawing, okay? All right. So yeah, leading up to the car show was nuts. And every weekend, it was literally from like 6 in the morning. My neighbors will tell you right now, I was painting cars at 6, 7 in the morning or painting this car at 6 or 7 in the morning. And I think I had 2 or 3 days left, and the car was still on the rotisserie. And man, we got it together. And honestly, I think so. My dad flew in, he helped out a little bit at the very end. And we had it on the trailer at like midnight. And we left, I think, at 5 in the morning to go to the car show. And once I had that thing unloaded, like in the spot and wiped down, ready to go, it was like just an absolute dump of just the exhaustion kind of set in. And man, it was a lot of work going into it, but it showed really well. As you guys saw, we won 2 first place trophies. We actually got People's Choice and best work in progress. So got a lot of people excited. Probably had, 24 or so folks come up that were fans of the channel that, recognized the car, recognized the build. And yeah, it was such a cool experience. So huge shout out, huge thanks to my friend Johnny Pence. He has a YouTube channel called Johnny's Garage. He's got a badass General Lee. But man, he put in so much work for that car show, and it turned out awesome. I think there was 180 cars or so, but it was fantastic. And yeah, it was just a really, really cool experience, and I can't wait to do it next year. I told him I committed next year to bring this car back, and we're gonna go for best of show next year. So this thing will be painted, it'll be together, running, driving, all that good stuff, and yeah, I can't wait. And I plan on having another car there on top of that. I'll get to that here in a little bit. So we're going to plan on bringing 2 next year, maybe another work in progress. Well, I'll just tell you, it'll be another work in progress, plus this car hopefully finished up and ready to go. So that said, honestly, you guys, the car has been sitting here for the better part of a week. And I've been so damn exhausted and trying to catch up just on everything else that was neglected over the last couple of weeks. The kids come back home here in a couple of weeks, and yeah, just trying to catch up on things around here. But what's next for the Cuda? So I'm going to show you guys. Well, actually, it leads to the first question that came in. What caused that big ass dent in the door? So to be honest, I didn't do much. I did the window channel body work and very, very little other body work, before it was final epoxied and taken to that car show. And so, we've got to go back, we've got to fix the dents, we've got to do some different things. I'm going to show you guys how to use stud welders and how to pop dents out and all that, because we're not going to fill those with filler. So we've got, some stud welding to do. We've also got some big time slide hammer work to do. So one thing that, I notice it, nobody else would probably notice it on this car, but the door, so like if the door is completely straight, like the edge of the door, the front fenders kind of come in and they curve down a little bit. And so we're going to end up popping those out with the slide hammer. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And we got to final set our panels, and then we can get into doing the fun, or honestly not so fun, task of the body work. But to be honest with you guys, the only thing original on the exterior of the car is the doors and the roof. Everything else on the outside of it's pretty much brand new, or it's already been worked. So it should go pretty fast. I don't expect it to take very long, but we'll do body work. We'll get it in polyester primer. We'll block it out. I haven't thrown a block on this car yet. So we'll get that done and get it ready and move it into paint. It's been so insanely and miserably hot here that, I think today it's in the upper 90s. So, we can't, and I won't paint the car, especially in that paint booth in the driveway, with it being that hot out. So doing the epoxy work, it goes really fast, and I can just wheel it out there on the rotisserie, flip it over a couple times, and a couple of coats, and it's done. But doing the base coat, clear coat on this car is going to take significantly longer. And we need the temps to be just right. As I also found out, we need the wind to be just right. So I wondered what the handles were on the outsides of the paint booth, and come to find out those are like tie downs for sandbags. And so the other day, the reason some people said something about me painting outside like that, but like in the open air outside, but I set up the paint booth. I had the door zipped up on it to walk back inside. And I think I was about like 3 steps out of the paint booth, and the wind grabbed that thing and cartwheeled it over the top of my neighbor's fence into their driveway, was dragging the blowers with it, everything else. And it was very embarrassing, number one. And number two, I could not risk putting parts in there that were drying, or especially the car in there, because it could have been an absolute disaster with that. So we need the wind to be right. We need the blooper reel. Exactly. Glad I wasn't filming when that happened. It was very embarrassing. Again, dragging the blowers with it and staying inflated, and it was kind of a mess. But that said, I love the paint booth. It's really nice. I don't have any of the dust or any of the paint or any of the fumes really in my garage. I think my neighbors can put up with it long enough. It just looks like a bounce house in my driveway, so it's not too terribly bad. But so that's what's next. We're moving it straight on to body work. Should have the last of the tools and some of the parts that I need here tomorrow. So we're going to get right into that. The GTO has been sold. So I need to buy Cuda parts, and I'm at the stage now where everything that I need to do on the Cuda costs a minimum of $1,000. And I'm not exaggerating by that. So rebuilding the dash, or starting to fix the interior, or buy those parts, or that shaker hood or the shaker induction kit was $700 used. So, and that's like, it's $2,200 if you buy it from Mopar Performance. And it's ungodly expensive, and a huge, I need your guys' help on something. Okay. So that induction kit right there, the way that it bolts to the top of the engine is that it has this bracket. Okay. This bracket bolts to the top of the motor, and then these holes right here hold the bottom of the bubble. Those of you guys that know are probably laughing at me right now, because as I found out, this is a 5.7 Hemi bracket. I need a 6.4 bracket, which is quite a bit different. It's got longer arms on it. If you guys can find one, if you guys have an extra one, I know I found a couple people on Facebook that have some extra ones, supposedly in storage or somewhere else. I need your guys' help finding one. I called the dealership. They want $450 for this stupid bracket. So I have this one for sale on eBay right now. If you guys, if you guys have one, let me know, please. And if you need a 5.7 one, I might know a guy that has one. So as cool as that shaker looks on there, it's definitely just sitting on top of that motor. So, but yeah, guys, so the GTO has been sold to buy Cuda parts with a few Cuda parts. And the good thing is, I guess, good or bad, it's not going very far away. It's actually a local guy ended up buying the car, and it sounds like he wants me to do the metal work on it. So it still needs quarters. I mean, you guys remember the last video. It literally hasn't changed since then. It's actually sitting in my garage right in front of me right now. And yeah, it still needs a lot of work. But unfortunately, guys, you can't keep them all, as somebody already said on there. And to be honest with you, I have some upcoming builds that will excite a lot of you guys, that are coming to the channel here very soon, that I have to make room for. And when I live in the neighborhood that I do, nobody else really has project cars, we'll say, sitting out in front of their house. They might have giant boats or nice cars. They don't have the shit boxes sitting out in front of their house like I do. So I need to make some room for some stuff that's coming up that's going to get you guys excited. Scott knows already. Yep. So, but yeah, some future content will likely be coming with the GTO maybe next spring or so, because I've got some big stuff coming up that we got to knock out. But yeah, it sucks to sell them. It makes me feel sick every time I do it. Selling the Camaro, selling the Corvette, the red Corvette that I had in Ohio. That said, I do not plan on selling this car, the Charger, or anything else anytime soon. So, all right. Charger update. So just to be totally honest with you guys, the Charger is probably on hold till next spring also, with some stuff coming up. It hasn't really moved a whole lot. I've been accumulating some parts. But it's really in the stage right now that the Cuda was kind of in just a few weeks ago, where I need to get the 4-link for it. Hoping my friends at QA1 help me out with that one. And we'll get the 4-link welded into it, and it's ready to throw on the rotisserie and start blasting and getting it basically in the stage that this is in right now. So, but yeah, so I didn't get the, quite the support on that build that I did with the Cuda. So I'm hoping that changes here in the next few months, and we can get some other companies to help with those builds. But yeah, it's pretty much ready to blast an epoxy. And then that leads me to some new builds and some big news for you guys. So somebody already mentioned it on here. I do have a new build coming to the channel. It's getting dropped off this weekend, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you guys. If you guys know Shade Tree Vintage Auto, they've been sharing some videos. They've got a lot of cool cars, you guys. They've got a bunch of cool cars for sale at all times. They're always selling different Mopar cars, but I'm getting a 69 Roadrunner convertible dropped off this weekend. So this car is, number one, it's going to be absolutely freaking badass. It's going to get, similar, it's going to get the 392 Hemi, just like this Cuda has. It's also going to get, I believe, a 6-speed in it. And it's also been sponsored by QA1, and they are going to help out a ton with this build as well. So full coilovers, tubular control arms, K-frame, the whole deal. So a lot of the work that we put this car through, thankfully, the Roadrunner does not appear to be in nearly as bad of condition as the Cuda was. So it's not, a full rebody, but I'll show you guys the quarter panel work. There's a lot of, like I say, custom, but factory, call it one-off type things for that car that are way different than other B-bodies. So for example, like the wheel houses on the inside are like cut off to, fit in the convertible frame and all that good stuff. So there's a lot, a lot different on that car, but can't wait to get it here. It's getting the full stage 3 chassis stiffening kit. I mean, everything that this car has, and basically how this car looks, is how that car is going to look here in the next few weeks. So this is, call it a customer build. But it's a build that I'm doing for Shade Tree and helping them out. They've helped me out a lot, especially with Cuda. I definitely would not have that engine and transmission without their help. So I'm happy to help support them and get the metal work done on their car. And guys, gotta get it going. So, well, that's the end of, actually, sorry, one more. I don't know how I skipped this one. This is the biggest news of all. Another new build that I'll get you guys excited for, and I'll just give you guys a quick heads up. My absolute dream build fell into my lap, and I am going to be building a wing car in the next year. So I won't tell you what it is. I already told you enough. That probably spoiled the surprise. But it's not an original. It is a clone, but it'll still be my wing car. And I cannot wait to start in on that car. And thankfully, it does not need nearly the amount of work as this or the Charger or anything else. It's actually in fairly good shape now. And we can probably knock out all of the metal work in maybe a few short weeks and get that car rolling too. But I got to finish this thing first. I got to get this thing on the road. I'm so excited about it. And yeah, guys, I got too much to do and definitely not enough time or frankly resources to get it all done. So I think yeah, I can relate with a lot of you guys on your builds too. So all right, I'm going to go into the questions here. If you guys got your votes in for the colors, make sure you do that. Okay. All right, I'm going through the questions here. You doing billboards or hockey stripes? Man, I like both of them. Actually, you know what I really like? I really like the AAR stripes. I don't believe that was available in 71. You guys can correct me on that, but I don't believe I've seen a 71 Cuda with the AAR stripes. I think that was 70. But I thought that would be cool to do. You know, at the end of the day, what I don't want is I really didn't want a color, and kind of why I was reluctant to tell you guys. I did not want a color that everybody else had, right? So for a while, I was very reluctant to do limelight or a common color because I didn't want it to blend in with everything else. And so I wanted the car to be one, like Tony Angelo's Cuda that he's done. You look at that car, it's his, right? So I want the same thing for mine, where you look at it and it's the Rust Bucket Resto 71 Cuda. So mine will be probably a little bit different. I want to be a little bit different than everybody else. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different. I mean, I think just frankly, the wheels and the suspension and everything else, the stance in this car is gonna be a lot different than what normal people do, or what people normally do. So, but that said, I love the billboards. I love the AAR stripes. I think they all look fantastic. Um, can you buy merch on Amazon? So no. So the merch is for sale. It should be below this video right now, but it's all going to be available in the spread shop, and I will share that link to you guys on Instagram as well as YouTube. But again, it's going to be a cool giveaway. You guys will love it, and I will definitely share what I send out when a winner is selected. So appreciate your guys' support. Again, every dollar from the merch sales goes directly into this build or the other builds that I have around here. So it really, really helps out a lot. Okay. Next projects after the Cuda and the Charger. I already mentioned the Roadrunner and the wing car coming up. Let's see. I'll never get traction with the skinnies. So I have to tell you guys an absolutely hilarious story from the car show. So where I was sitting at the car show, I was not posted up right next to the car the whole time. I was actually kind of sitting off to the side, and I could hear people and what they were saying about the car. And a lot of people were, really excited about it, especially anybody that, because they could see that there was some weird stuff going on with the suspension in the back. And when they got under it, I heard them say, "Damn!" Like they were really excited about all the QA1 goodies that are on this car. But what was so funny, and this car show is an hour and a half away from my house, is people really thought that I drove there with those wheels on the car. Like that those were the final wheels that were going on it. I heard somebody walk up and it was a guy, and I heard it. I think he even said it to himself. He just said, "Those are the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life." Like not knowing that those are body shop wheels, guys. These are not being driven at all. I may drive them like in my driveway, but you can drive 5 miles an hour on them. They're strictly meant to be body shop wheels. Again, they're gunny wheels. They've helped out a lot with this. They supplied those wheels for this build. And, I can get paint on those. I can get dust on those. I can even hit them with the damn grinder. And frankly, I don't care. They're universal. I can bolt them on to pretty much any of my builds that I have here. But yeah, it does not matter whatsoever that those are on the car at all. They can get busted up, whatever. But yeah, people actually thought that those wheels were going permanently on the car. I found that funny. And somebody that people were coming up and asking me what's going on with these wheels on here? I'd be like, what? I drove it here like that. And then they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, with the imaginary steering wheel that's also in the car. So, yeah. Um, Mine was definitely one of the few builds or the works in progress there that, was not running, was not driving, which was a huge pain in the ass for getting in and getting out of there. But yeah, people thought that those wheels were the final wheels that were going on there. So yeah, I do. I do plan on using the Billet Specialty street lights on this car. Likely in the chrome, possibly the chrome and black, depending on what color I get, and then how it matches either again the billboards or if I do a stripe or whatnot on it, then we can add those accents in there. But with running the brakes that I have and also the suspension that I have, if you do the 2 to 4 inch drop on the front spindles, you have to run 18-inch wheels minimum. So the wheels that are on there, I believe, are already 18s plus, whatever the tire size is. So you kind of get an idea for what those will look like. I think they're going to look awesome. And then, of course, they're going to show all the Willwood stuff, the QA1 stuff through the wheels. But those wheels are absolutely badass, and I can't wait to get those. Somebody asked what size wheels, what size tires. Frankly, I've not even measured it yet. I've not gotten to that point. I still think there's some centering to do on the rear end. But yeah, once I get there, I'll let you guys know. But to answer that question, as wide as I can reasonably go. So, all right. Back to the questions here. Can I fab it? So that's in reference to the bracket. I definitely could. I would really rather just buy one. I'm very surprised there's not any for sale on eBay, not a single one. I think I have the only 5.7 bracket that's on there. I've called quite a few dismantlers that are pretty big on YouTube. Lisi Parts, if you guys ever watch their YouTube channel, it's fantastic. They got a lot of good stuff. They didn't have any. 74 Auto, Cleveland Power didn't have any. Yeah, I reached out to quite a few places, and nobody seems to have that bracket. It's kind of a ghost, but I think it's just time and place. I just got to wait it out. Do my neighbors get cranky about the builds or the cars in the driveway? They haven't yet, but they definitely look at me with disgust every time they see me. So they don't even have to say anything. I know they don't like it. I know they definitely don't like the cars, out front. Thankfully, there's a fence going up around, the whole house, just to protect my stuff and, so people can't see it. Not that it's necessarily an eyesore, but it just looks awful from the street. So yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to piss everybody off. I do not currently live in an HOA. And I definitely don't want to be the reason for the HOA in my neighborhood. So yeah, I'd really like to improve that. One terrible thing that did happen, I had that DeWalt DA sander. I do not have it anymore, but I was sanding the Cuda with it when it was in bare metal, and I had big DA disc on it, and I don't know if I dropped it or what happened, but the damn muffler on that DA sander came off, and that thing was an absolute freaking screamer. I think it was louder in my driveway than the blaster was in my driveway, which was like, I felt bad. I felt really bad. And I did the blasting, on a Friday before the 4th of July. So yeah, I need to be back in the country. So where I won't piss anybody off, but man, yeah, I'm definitely the loudest neighbor on the block. No question, whether it's running tools or whether it's revving cars or whatnot. But yeah, it's funny. The cool dad in the neighborhood attract all the other dads with my air compressor. I tell you what, there's been a lot of people that drove by that stopped by to say hi or to see what's going on. I mean, definitely the cars in the driveway or seeing me outside or the paint booth raises a lot of questions. People stop by all the time, or fans of the channel have stopped by quite a few times too. So it's pretty cool. Would be cool if I built a V8 swapped 240 or 280Z. So I actually built one. It was a small block Ford swapped 240Z, a 70 240Z that I did a few years ago. Pretty cool car though. Let's see. Let's keep going down here. Man, you guys have commented a lot in here. Daytona or a Superbird. Yep. So I'll tell you, it's obviously a wing car. Those of you guys that don't know or may not be familiar, but Yeah, it's either going to be a Daytona or a Superbird. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag completely yet. I'm accumulating parts for that build as we speak. So yeah, pretty excited. What did the guy blasting use as a medium? So he uses the water with recycled glass bead, I believe. Or it's fresh virgin glass bead. Either way, it's a glass bead. I tell you what, that process was really cool. I think if you're looking for the absolute best way to strip all corrosion out of your car, in my opinion, it's dipping your car is the best possible way to get rid of all that stuff. You'll have like no residual sand or media or anything left in your car. There was definitely a time, and I don't know if I captured it on video or not, but when he was blasting, I was super, super close to the car with the GoPro, and the wet sand that had accumulated in the bottom of that car was like easily an inch thick, and it freaked me out. I was already having buyer's remorse. I said, "Oh my god, I'm never going to get this out." Because as he's spraying, I mean, all the corrosion, is coming off. The paint's coming off. It was almost like somebody using like a power washer to like clean a side of a house or like a really dirty vehicle. Like that's almost how fast it was. It was kind of, I mean, it was super awesome to watch. But when I started looking inside, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is bad. And he called it, the cake or the caking effect of the glass bead that was on there. So, but either way, I mean, he spent easily as much time, if not more time, spraying that thing out, and we flipped it 5-6 times, I think at least. I think he spent at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours just hosing it down and using that rust preventative. And I did find a little bit of sand that, from actually putting this thing on the trailer and just driving it to that car show, there's a little bit of sand like that dropped out of the trunk. But aside from that, guys, I mean, I went through here, prepping the car, epoxying the car. I mean, everything. I'm not finding much sand. I'm sure if you got into the roof sections or, deep down into the cowl or something else, you might find stuff. But yeah, it's not stuck anywhere that I've at least found. It's not really a problem. So, okay. Paint it hot pink with the black hood. Oh man, I can't do that, guys. I just can't do it. Do you want the colors of the Charger and the Cuda to be the same or play off each other? So a big reason why I'm not going to go with the original colors, like I think it's F4 green. Correct me, guys. It's that light pea green. Is that you guys already voted on the Charger, and the Charger is going to be F8 green, which is a very classic. It's going to look bitchin' on that car, but I don't want to have a garage full of green cars. I just don't. So somebody did say though that I would probably have the only one in that color, and that's because it's not a very attractive color. People change that color a lot. Just it's not super appealing. So yeah, not my thing. Shipping merch to Germany, I believe they ship international. Yes. Any plans on going to the Holly Mo party? I didn't even know about it. And then Kendall had a terrible time with that glass bead. Took forever to clean out. So Ted, I already mentioned the GTO has already been sold, man. So, alrighty, you guys. Has anybody kept track of who voted for what? I definitely didn't, and I wish I had somebody on here tracking how many. All right. Well, I don't think I need to add it up. I can scroll. Oh, I can scroll back up and see everybody's votes that are on here. It looks like Winchester Gray is the color, which makes me very happy. This car is going to look awesome. I mean, it would look badass no matter what color it is, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alrighty, 13. Yep, Winchester is the runaway vote on here, guys. Cool. All right. Well, if you guys do renderings or anything like that, also reach out to me. I had somebody do one on the Charger, but we'll do some renderings on this in Winchester gray. And yeah, guys, I can't say thanks enough for all the support, all the questions, everything along the way. Again, the car show is just it was such a cool experience, you guys. It's really the first time that any of my builds have been out in the wild per se, or really been out there for a lot of people to see. But it got a lot of people excited. It got me excited talking about it. Yeah, it was really, really cool. So we'll keep cranking on it. We'll get to work on the body work, and interior color is going to be black. So if you guys, I posted it on Instagram. I have like an absolutely mint set of black seats for it. I think they are 73, 74 seats, I believe, but they're original covers. They look awesome. And I probably will just run those for now, to be honest. But I do need to rebuild the dash. I need to, I'm going to go back and restore all of my original door panels and all the kick panels, all that stuff. All that stuff can be fixed and flocked and all that kind of stuff. So I'll show you guys how to do that, and we'll make those panels look like new again as well. But yeah, so it's going to be Winchester gray with the black interior and likely either black billboards or the AAR stripe. I think it'd be cool to do the Hemi billboards on the side of it. I think that'd look badass. So, but appreciate you guys joining. Thank you guys. Let's see, the Pain 480. It's 3 a.m. from Germany. Thank you guys for joining. And yeah, I hope to have a video out next week, guys, of starting the body work on this thing. So sorry it's been a little bit slow. Just frankly, I've been tired as hell from working on this thing so much. So again, please reach out if you guys have a 6'4" shaker bracket. Let me know, please. Or if you need a 5'7" one, reach out. Let me know. And yeah, guys, take care. I'll see you again real soon.